Hey guys, welcome to the drawing stream. We are getting started just a little bit late. I just want to check on the stream. Just noticed that we're having a little bit of a problem with latency. So I didn't want to go live when I was still seeing that. But I'm not sure that I fixed it. I think I may have, though. I hope so. I just want to check and make sure here. See what it's looking like in reality here. So anyway, oh, it's so funny because when the pandemic first started back in March of 2020, it may have been April, I guess, something like that. We started doing some live streams 3 times a week. And I don't know if you guys remember that or if you were part of that. But anyway, long story short, I didn't hardly have any problems at all with the stream. And then now every time I turn around, it seems like there's been some problems. Oh, I forgot to open this chat. Let me do that really quick here. So if you are able to join me today, I would love to interact with you over there on chat as well. So we're streaming both on YouTube and on Facebook. All right. So you might recall last time we were using a very, very dark pencil. And what I wanted to do today, and obviously we've chewed up quite a bit of time getting started late, but I think we still have enough time to do this. I wanted to start adding in a red color. So let me look here. I think what I'll do, I'm going to go ahead and go with Anthracodone Carmine, which is Luminance Color 580. Such a nice color, and it'll give us a good base tone for what we're doing here. Now, you might also notice this, that I went a little bit long here in the shape of my drawing. So this tear duct should be scooted over a little bit more. So I could do that, and we'll see if we have time to get to that. We might be able to do that here. So let me know if you're out there in the chat, and if you have any questions at all. I would love to hear what those are. I was thinking that maybe part of the latency that I was seeing earlier was due to we are dropping a brand new course today, and so there are that opens up at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So there are some modules out there that are rendering right now, and it could be that is causing a little bit of a hiccup for me on my side. So the stream may be affected. I may be creating the problem. I don't know. It's one of those things you never know. So, and I probably will never know. Won't ever be able to figure that out, but that's okay. All right. So this would be a good thing to do, though, to erase this area and to show you how you can correct something even after you've shaded this much into your drawing. And then it'll also be nice to add a little bit of solvent and blend this together a little bit, saturate the colors a little bit. That'll be a nice thing to do as well, and to show, demonstrate. So it looks like there's a few of you out there, and you may be wondering, like, well, where was he at 10 o'clock? So if that's the case, if you're just now joining, there was some latency issues going on, And like I would move, and I'm hoping it's not doing it now. I don't think it is. I would move a little bit on camera and it would just be like real choppy. So I was trying to look into that. But I think I may have inadvertently created that problem myself. So anyway, hey, Stephanie, how are you? Stephanie is joining us over there on YouTube. And Melanie, awesome. Thanks, Melanie. Melanie is also on YouTube. Welcome, guys. It feels so good to be looked for. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good weekend and hope everything's going well. Okay, so like I was mentioning earlier, we're adding red. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think I will go ahead and try erasing this. Speaking of coffee, I need to take a drink of mine. So I had a birthday recently. I'm a January birthday. And the funny thing is, I got this warmer for my birthday. It's something that I wanted for a long time. Yeah, it doesn't take much to make me happy here. So I've got a warmer for my coffee now. My coffee usually always gets cold when I'm in here drawing. Okay. Now, here's one of the things I want to do then. Before I erase that, I want to test it first and see if, this is a new surface for me. I don't draw on illustration board very often, or I guess this is Crescent board. It's archival, but it's just not something that I draw on very often. So I want to test it just by kind of lifting and just seeing what happens. Oh my goodness. So Stephanie, I know you use the same platform as I do, Restream. I believe you do. It keeps, I don't know if it's ever done this to you, but the chat keeps on repeating. It has you saying, I'm having my coffee and watching you - very relaxing. Like it's repeated now for probably 10 times. So had to turn the volume down. I have it where it does a text to voice for me, and turned that down because it just kept repeating it and repeating everything that you and Melanie said. It was so odd. So obviously that chat feature is not working right now. So if you guys are commenting and responding or saying anything, I might miss it because I'm noticing that it's not functioning correctly. Okay. Now that's not coming off. That is not coming off. So I can try my sticky putty. It's a little stronger. That'll work a little bit, right? Not a whole lot. Works some. Okay. I can use my Moo eraser. And well, this one may not be. Yeah, this is Moo. Says it right there. Moo. So I should get rid of enough there. I don't need every little bit of that off of there, just enough to be able to draw back on top of it, over on top of it. Okay. Let me grab a dark pencil. I guess I'll make sure no one is trying to communicate with me. That chat function is not working. I don't know what kind of updates Restream has gone through, but whatever they're doing recently here is just not working so well. Okay. All right. So not sure what to do about it. It's just not going to work. Okay. So I'm going to curve this down a little bit more right in here. And my tear duct was way out here. I think it probably needs to be right over here. Something like that. Might be a little more accurate to the reference. There we go. I don't have as much tooth available on this surface as I do on other surfaces. I'm starting to notice, but that's okay. It's all right. It'll still work enough. Now, let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Might make it easier to see. There we go. Hopefully that's better for you guys to be able to see that. Okay. Now I can add my red over here. I need to sharpen this pencil though. All right. And let's put some shape in here. Right there. Okay. There's a lot going on today. I've got, even though I can't hear you guys, I can't see any of your chat messages, unfortunately. Apparently that stopped working. I'm going to talk anyway. I'm going to talk to you. But I'm interviewing an artist today for the podcast. I've got 2 art mentoring sessions scheduled to happen as well. And then I'm releasing new modules inside the portrait course and releasing a brand new course on drawing the eyes. So there's a lot going on today. So I'm probably not going to troubleshoot this more. Typically what I would do is I would get on the help chat section here and try to figure out what's going on with the live stream chat. I would get on the help desk chat for my provider, but I'm not going to do that today. I've got way too much to do today than to try to troubleshoot a problem that is happening on their software. So okay, I think that's a little more accurate. I can get away with putting quite a bit of red right there in the white of the eye, the sclera. And underneath, it needs to be a darker value. Red's as good as any other color right there. I don't need to worry about the color as much at the moment. Okay. Let's see if they fix that chat feature yet. Maybe they did. I'm going to see if I can turn it back on here in a moment. See what happens. Ah, still not working. Okay. They still haven't fixed that chat, so I can see what's going on a little bit. It looks like the chat from Facebook is working. Hi, Somia, how are you? The chat from YouTube is not working. It's so I apologize if you're trying to communicate with me and seems like I'm ignoring you. It's not that I'm ignoring you. I can't see what you're typing. It's repeating a bunch of old messages, which is so odd. See if I can bring it up on my phone. Might work. I think we're about ready to add some solvent in here, though. Okay. Try doing that with my phone here. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more, though, of this red up here before I add solvent. I can't wait to get a little bit of that purple and blue right in this area of the shape of the eye. That'll be a lot of fun to do that. Okay. Now maybe what we'll do, we'll just add a little bit of solvent today, and then we'll start adding more of our flesh tones and pinks next week. So just using Gamsol Gamblin. There it is. And I'm just dipping it in the bottle. I used to get all particular about the way that I applied it. It really doesn't matter too much, though. I would put it in a separate container, make a big production out of it, but didn't really help me with the application of it. And it, somebody said one time, well, doesn't that dirty the solvent? Doesn't seem to. By the time I'm done with a piece. This bottle is so small, I'm not really contaminating anything that I'm using. So, and I haven't noticed it affecting my paper surface. So I suppose I would stop if it was. So. It's going to be one of those things where I can tell by the way this is going on the surface. It'll be slightly uneven for a little while. And that's okay. This is speeding up the process, though, and helping me to protect the tooth longer. Because I'm able to not press, a point of a pencil up against the tooth of the paper. So that's going to protect that tooth longer. This is a very soft brush that's going on here right now. So I'm blending that Carmine Lake together with this new red that I just put down. And at the same time, I'm paying attention to where the values are. So I'm able to create more saturation where I have these values already established. Now, I don't have to be real particular, though, at this point in the drawing process, because it's going to be a long time before I have to worry about the exact color that I'm after. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and we'll put this right up here, and then we'll go in the eye just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, I'll have to let all of that dry in order for that to be a surface that I can draw on top of, right? I can't go over that when it's wet, or I'm going to damage that surface. Just as sure as anything, I'll damage that surface if I try to add a pencil on top of there. Okay, but what can I do? Is there something I can do? Well, yeah, there is. So I can draw a little bit of the color of this eye. So I can establish where some of the light areas are. So I'm going to use light flesh, 5%, or is that 10%? 10%. Light flesh, 10%. Luminance number 542. Okay, sharpen that up. This edge over here on the iris is a little bit lighter in value because of that refraction of light that hits the sclera. So I'm going to add that in here. There's a little bit of lighter value over here as well. Now, this is going to look really dark right now. That's okay. Later on, it will show through enough and be lighter. But for right now, it will look a little funky, look a little bit weird. Okay. So I'm going to grab chocolate, just establish this dark value a little bit more right here for the pupil. And I'm going to surround this highlight with a dark value as well. So up above, that shading of the upper eyelid down here on the iris, that, that has to be there. That happens. So I've got to make that darker right in there. Otherwise, that doesn't make sense. The light is coming from this direction, so up above, and this is a very thick area of the anatomy, the upper eyelid, and it shades everything in the eye. And so where that is affected the most is in the iris. So I've got to be able to put that in there. So Peggy just joined. Awesome. Thanks for joining over there, Peggy, on Facebook. And she's asking what paper I'm using. So I'm using a Crescent board. So it's a, let's see, I've got one kind of like it here. This one is a Crescent dry mix media, lightweight. The one I'm using is heavyweight, I believe. It's not something I draw on a lot, but it gives you some pretty interesting results. Have you ever done that, Peggy? Have you ever used a board to draw on like this? One of these Crescent boards? It's kind of fun. I did that with the eye study recently. So this eye study right here, I drew on a Crescent board. So it was just a lot of fun. Crescent art board 114 is what this one is. So anyway, they're archival, and they come in a variety of weights. So they work really well for colored pencil. All right. So that might be dark enough at the moment. Right up here. Now I can go ahead and put some of that eyelash line in here. I didn't really touch that part of the drawing. I barely touched this part of the drawing, so I can put my darker value right over there. Now I'm kind of committed, right, on the location of where I have that tear duct now. I can very, very, very lightly touch the surface in a couple of areas. I don't want to put any pressure on the surface, though, if I'm applying the pencil at all, if it's not completely dry. So, and it isn't dry right now, so I'm just going to add a few little marks here and there. All right. I noticed that this edge over here, if you look at the reference, this edge is very, very dark. Edge of the iris right there. So I can put that in there. This part's dry. I didn't apply solvent over here. Let's see. I can go a little bit higher right here if I wanted to. There we go. All right. Yeah, so Christine is asking if that was Gamsol. Yeah, it was. That was what I was using, was Gamsol. Yep. So a little rough at the moment, and that's fine. It just needs to dry completely before I go back over any part of it. So this area over here, I'm noticing now, should come down just a little bit more, but I can't really touch it right now because it's still wet over there. I can move my pencil up just a little bit into the lower part of the eyelash line right here, because that's still dry right there. I normally don't do this, just so you know. I normally just walk away from it, put it aside, work on a different drawing. If I've created any part of it, or if I wetted any part of it with Gamsol. So how long does it take to dry? Good question. From Rosina, I guess is maybe how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. Over on Facebook. And so typically it would take maybe 15, 20 minutes to dry. It doesn't take very long to dry at all. I usually wait longer though, especially if I'm impatient, then I wait longer. Apparently I'm getting impatient today because they keep creeping in to these areas over here. I need to wait though. So now, sometimes if I hold my pencil like this and I just use light strokes on nearly the side of the pencil, I don't really want to use the side, but at a very steep angle where it's nearly horizontal to the paper, then I can suggest a few of the darker values in certain areas. I don't want to get carried away though and start pressing too hard when it's not dry. I have a feeling it's going to dry quicker on this surface. Yeah, well, actually, that feels dry. It really does. So, I'm not sure how much time has passed. I think that's dry. Yeah, it really is. That's pretty amazing. I can tell by the way that that's going down on the paper that that's dry. It would start clumping up, and I would have like some residue here, but I would also have it on the tip of the pencil if it wasn't dry. And I don't have that, so that's good. Okay. So another great pencil to use is Luminance. It's 068. What is the name of this? Herculaneum Red. That's right. Okay, and I'm actually seeing quite a bit of that right in here on the eyeball. But it is a good flesh tone to use. Some areas that were a little thicker may not be completely dry. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I got a little carried away and put that bottom eyelash in there, and I really shouldn't have done that yet. It's too early. It's too much. Needs to be an uninterrupted path here for pencil layers. Okay, let's get this edge in here. So this edge right here that makes up that contour that is going back towards the eyeball represents typically a different color than the edge over here. And if I don't see that in the reference, then I kind of want to do it anyway, because it will help to create that illusion of what's going on. So let's see if I have an edge on this pencil that is sharp enough. I think I do. But I can come in here and darken the values over here quite a bit. I'm using Caput Mortuum in the Polychromos. This is just one of my friends. I have many friends in these colored pencils, and this is one of them. My Kaput Mortem friend. He's always there. He will not let you down. He just works so well to create certain values and lean something back in a lighter or a darker direction, rather. So I can come back up here, and this needs to be really dark over here. And then it starts to go back in a lighter direction. So let me grab this pink and I'll put this in here to make it a little bit brighter. We've got a reason to use some brighter pinks right there in that inside portion of the lower lid. And of course, over here by this membrane area by the tear duct, of course, we can use a lighter pink over here as well. Okay. There we go. So I want to add a little bit of that Herculaneum red right there. Some of that inside edge of the upper eyelid is visible to us. And this whole area over here as well. There we go. Your color is your friend again, please. Yeah. So, yeah, I just refer to my pencils sometimes as my friend. You're asking what pencil sharpener I'm using. So it's the AFMAT. AFMAT sharpener. It's an electric sharpener. There it is. It's comes with 2 holes, but if you press pretty hard while you're sharpening the pencil, it will typically not break your pencils. It does an incredible job at sharpening pencils, colored pencils. Not every sharpener will sharpen colored pencils very well. So I'm always looking for a good sharpener, and been on the hunt for a good one for years. Finally found a sharpener that has been very, very consistent, and that's the AFMAT sharpener. You can get it on Amazon. The one thing I wish was offered was to be able to replace a helical blade. I can't ever find a sharpener that will do that. Sometimes they'll advertise that and they'll say that it's a replaceable blade, but you can't ever purchase the blade. So it doesn't do me a lot of good. Put a little bit of white in here. Don't want to lose that. There we go. Looks like maybe the chat is getting better now. So Stephanie says that Gamsel is what she uses with oil painting to thin and clear out brushes. Yeah, it will actually make your pencils disappear. It can dissolve pencil layers if you apply too much, and if you apply it too early, it can do that. So it's something to keep in mind. It's not always something you want to use right away. So use it very judiciously, only after you've got enough layers on your surface. Otherwise, it's not going to help you out very much. All right. Now, let's see here. That is a little bit damp right in that area. I can tell now with this pencil. Little tiny bit damp. I don't like that dark line right there. That's something I'll be able to move later after this dries completely. So I'm not going to worry about it at the moment, though. Okay, let me take a look here. So we got quite a bit done. Influence that little bit of darker area that I put in there. Use my ivory color to do that. Ivory and polychromos. Then I can go back over the top of it with pink. So I didn't lose the dark value, but I muted it down quite a bit. Hopefully you can see that. Now the thing I didn't do is erase that. A lot of times that's what we want to do when we're starting out in the medium, is we think every time we make something that we may term as quote unquote a mistake that we have to erase. And if you can get out of that habit of erasing every time you do something you don't like, just go over the top of it again with modify, try to modify that value or that hue. Modify it a little bit with other colors on top, and you're going to get a rich saturation in color when you do that, which is what you're after. That's what you want. Erasing is pigment off, and I don't want to keep taking pigment off. I want to keep adding more and more pigment to the surface in order to get, just this rich saturation of color and coverage on the surface. It takes a long time to get all that coverage on the surface. So why do I want to remove it? I don't want to do that. I do not want to keep removing it. I want to keep adding more and more to it. All right, guys, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you got something out of this today. Apologize for the late start. We will get all these tech issues figured out, apparently. It's just going to take a while. So eventually we'll get them figured out. But it's starting to take shape. We got some color added today, right? So appreciate you joining me, and I will let you go. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will see you out here again, same time, same place, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will do this again. All right, take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.